So I've got another video for you here, and it's a video that I took when I went to Fisheries, which is located in England, a while ago now. It's about end of January, so I just wanted to note that as well at the beginning of the video. The temperature of the water was quite cold, so just thought I'd put that in at the beginning. And I just wanted to take an overview really of what was available at that time. So I was lucky enough to be able to go around the ponds and take a few shots. This first pond, skip past it now, but that was mainly Wackines, Bristol Shabunkins, London Shabunkins, that kind of thing. Here we've got some lovely London Shabunkins. Bristol Shabunkins with their longer tails. You can see those there with some lovely blue on them as well. And yeah, this video is just going to be kind of overview of what was there at that time. Obviously they've got a selection of fish available, they can get things in for you, that kind of thing. I'm just going to try and talk through the varieties as best I can. I'm not going to say I'm an absolute expert, but I'm going to try and point out what's available. So we've got these some more Bristol Shabunkins there with their longer tails. Moving across to this pond, we've got some pearl scales. So it's a mixture of sort of red and white, solid red. Some calico there as well. So we've got some close-ups now of those pearl scales, begging for some food at the top of the surface. And it does look like there's some bubble heads in there as well, crown pearl scales I should say, sort of towards the bottom of the pond. Possibly even some celestial, which I think I scan over in a second. There we go, it's got some celestial goldfish in there as well, with those sort of really unique eyes pointing upwards. Kind of some people love those fish, some people not so much. But we've got some really interesting pearl scales in there actually, some colours that I haven't seen available that often. And you can see these all housed in larger tubs with individual filters. I suppose that helps when quarantining the fish. Here we've got some Ranchu, or Ronchu, so very popular at the moment. Different kind of levels of calico colouring there, with the really nice blue on some of those. Some darker calico, some lighter ones as well there. And also just some classics, I guess. We've got some sort of red heads. And at this point, the owner just wanted to show us a few quite unique fish in this particular pond, the tub setup. And these are all mainly tricolour Oranda, really unique coloration actually. And the colours on them, for being little fish, they've got some really nice deep blacks, some bright reds on them as well. And the wen growth is what probably makes them stand out from other fish that we might see available in other kind of pet shops. We can really see that they are high quality fish. So yeah, some lovely Orandas in there. Got some panda Orandas I believe, but mainly tricolours. And like I say, you got those ones on the screen now, very individual markings, could make some nice kind of show fish for a tank. And they're only, I think they're quite young, you know. Here's another one that was selected with those really nice coloration. And like I say, yeah, this is only available what was available at the time. So there's obviously going to be different ones available on and off all the time. Looking across now, we've got for the next pond. Here we've got some slightly larger Oranda. They've got red and white. There's also some sort of red capped Orandas. So with that, where the wen's red on top and the rest of the fish is normally white. And there's some calico in there as well. Some calico Oranda. Looks to me like they've got a really nice selection of Ryukin in here. And those dark ones really stand out to me. Those dark calicos. They seem to have really deep body shape. You can't really... I'm hoping I got that fish right, because I was just about to say you can't mistake that fish for any other fish. A quick shot here of some butterfly telescopes. And moving on to another fish, a bit like the celestial, which some people are not too keen on, but we've got the bubble eyes here. And I did see there's a calico down there in the bottom. Mainly we've got reds, yellows, and there was a black as well. And so there's some unusual colours actually. Yeah, it's one of those fish, the bubble eye, where you have to keep them in a particular environment. Make sure you keep them nice and safe because of those bubbles. But some nice big Ryukins here. Some kind of classic markings. Some really deep reds on some of those fishes as well. So you can see those, they would make some lovely fish. Lovely pets. what have we got down here? Maybe some veil tails. I might be right there. If you do, once again, do correct me in the comments if I'm not quite right. But some calico veil tails, big tails there, really showy. And we've got a really big mixture actually in this pond. I would say there's a bit of really everything we've spoken about. We've got definitely some Oranda, some Rokin, some nice red caps, and again with this one as well. And they're all kind of at the surface, thinking I'm going to feed them. But we can see how some of these tubs are split up with the use of the nets. And we've got quite a few tubs. And I do believe that it will be expanding as well, this facility. So this was kind of in its slight kind of early days. But really nice selection of brightly coloured fish. I think that's what I'm noticing the most, is the colour on these fish. And we've got obviously some slightly larger than the others, like that big black ranchu there. Nice calicos coming up in front of the screen now. So that is the kind of first area of the new facility in Star Fisheries, and I do actually go to a second building as well in a second. Slightly less ponds in this building, but still got, you know, a few tub setups, individual filters. I believe this first tank might be actually a kind of a new selection of fish that are maybe under quarantine, so there's different coloration in that water. But these are some larger Oranda with some tricolours again, some red, black and white on those. Get some close up. A lovely panda Oranda there. Really strong markings. Really nice contrast between the white and the black. And we can see on some of these larger fish how big the wen is, or the hood. I do apologise about the reflection as well. There's not much I could do about that, but so even bigger fish here really. Veil tails, calico Orandas, and you do get quite a lot of different calico Orandas. I noticed when I was choosing fish for my pond, kind of more of a red main colour, red base, or the lighter ones as well. And that's lovely there with kind of those dots, those red dots on it, almost like a kohaku style koi, but the markings similar to that. And we can see, like I said, there is quite a few fish in here with that quite sought after blue coloration, which when it's got a blue base just makes that fish really stand out. Really big fish as well. It's quite hard to understand the size of them without being there in person. And again, I think this pond might be under some treatment because we've got some different coloration of the water there. But some different selection of calicos, calico ranchu here, and some red cap, like a red cap Oranda, which is its own kind of variety. And there's a lovely sort of a blue base colour there, so that's the blue I'm talking about. And like I say, there's lots of different back shapes, body shapes, hood growth. So if you do ever get a chance to visit one of their open days, when you can sort of personally select fish, it's a great way to be able to sort of come up with something that's quite unique and also something that you really want. I've got a nice big one there in the back. I just wanted to get a shot of that, but that's obviously, that's pushing 7-8 inches, I'd imagine, that fish. It was really nice. So that's the kind of overview of the facility, just what was there at the time. Like I said, you know, if you want to see more things like this, just subscribe, and I've got some other content lined up to go.